Hey everyone, TimaeuSS here. Welcome to another Etheria restart video, and today we are going to take a look at the X2 event that is finally coming up next because yes, that's right, previously we made a guide on it, so if you missed that, do check it out. But for those of you that are probably new to the game or new to the server X2 event, well, look no further, because today we're gonna go over your priorities with regards to what to farm next, but also taking a look at some of the teams available, because remember, we did a little contest. Yes, it's still going underway, the Inferno Extravaganza, but we do have a lot of amazing submissions I've selected for so far, but over 25 responses at the moment, and they have uploaded their videos. Look at this, level 74 clearing Inferno with really free-to-play teams such as Jada, Valerian, Kazuo, Leno, Kloss. You can see number 41 even making an appearance, and the Terramata team, Mia, Sanya, Kachi, the Guard, Dating, and Holden. I mean, these are definitely going to be very viable teams for a lot of the free-to-play or small spenders going into the X2 event. So again, this will be linked in the comments or in the description, so you guys can access this. But first things first, let's talk about the X2 event. Well, if you take a look at the previous one, we knew that it was among the 3 game modes, right? The Threshold with the modules, Termaton, DokiDoki, and Aurora. And of course, we also had the Animus EXP, which not a lot of people farm, but this was definitely great because it can drop Shadow Prints, which you'll need to ascend your characters to 5-star, 6-star, but also gems and pole currencies. Okay, a lot of people miss out on that, but yeah, it is not bad at all in terms of the additional resources that you get from this. And not to mention, we also have X2 for GP Outposts. Now this I actually did farm quite a bit in the previous one, and the GP Outpost is a good time during the X2 event to farm ton of these imprint mats that you'll need to skill up your characters. And you can see I have a ton of the light ones still just from the previous event, and I'm going to farm more, getting some of my team ready to go. And you can also see that I've saved up a lot of stamina, right? 61 pots, and I've been essentially not using any stamina for the last few days, so about 5k saved out. Going into tomorrow will be 6k, so we do have a ton of stamina to pop. And luckily I do have my one-shot DokiDoki team with Real, so it's like a 40-second clear every time, so that is going to be good. But for a lot of you guys, I think, first of all, personally, from all the previous X2 experiences, I would think the investigation is actually lower on the priority. I mean, EXP is nice, but there's so many events alongside the way that you get a ton of these EXP books. I have 399, the golden ones, and a bunch of these, over 1,000, right? So you get a lot from events during the PvE game modes and all that stuff that you don't necessarily have to farm. I think the previous one, the X2, made a bit more sense because, you know, people were still starting out. Not everyone has 5s maxed starred level 50 characters, but in this X2 event, definitely I would not venture there anymore. Now, GP Outpost is still, I think, a very high value. Personally, I'm going to be in there for a bit. Just to farm a bit more, because if you're gonna farm these regardless in the future, you always do it at X2. I think that's one of the most important part. And last but certainly not least, the Threshold. Last time I split my time relatively equal between Termaton and then Aurora, and then the rest, I would say about 60% to 70% went into DokiDoki. I think this time is going to be completely different. I'm going to spend 90% of my time in DokiDoki because I do have about 3 sets of DPS gear, right, from Termaton that I think it's pretty good already. And then for Aurora, yeah, I'll farm a tiny bit, mainly for bulwarks and stuff, and I do have a decent Fury and Momentum piece, but once again, DokiDoki is where I'll be parking 90%, I would say, of my farm, getting these swift rushes that can be super important, getting the swift raids as we move to more of a speed contest. I mean, right now speed is still king, and even getting some good harvest pieces is gonna be really nice, and having Bramble on some of the characters is going to be key, and then building tanky with Unbreakable is also nice as well. So DokiDoki definitely, especially after I have built my one-shot clear team, essentially from a previous runtime of about 3 minutes, 2.5, 3 minutes to now 40 seconds, right? You bet I'm going to be in there for most. I know it's a bit too bad that we don't get any shell X2 event. Maybe that is one thing that we will get in the future, but currently there is none available. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to 2x Hoyan, 2x Sharon, and we already heard the dev notes that there is not going to be any more Rengotsu or Inferno changes, nerfs. So that is rather unfortunate because I personally wanted Rengo to be a bit weaker. Right now, the clears are slightly tough, but take a look at this team. Insane. Jodox is legit, by the way. This is a 25-second clear from Jodox, who is a very, very good player. I think he writes guide for Pridewind as well. So you can see this is essentially a fast Beyonton with Dorothy the Wisher. Interesting. I will have to find out how he does this with catching. Not catching the guard, just a normal, super fast catch clear. And looking at the stats, though, on this Yelly, 4.2 thousand attack and almost 400. Well, this is 350% crit rate, right? Crit damage and then 70 crit rate, which is exactly what you need. So this is a really, really beefed out team. But anyhow, I digress. Yes, so I would say go to GP Outposts for sure, because you'll need to beef out the rest of your characters, upgrade their skills. And investigations, don't spend too much time in there if at all. And then the rest into modules, especially DokiDoki for speed gaming, because speed is such an important stat. But do some Termaton, at least get your 2-3 sets of DPS gear ready, and then rest in Aurora would be my suggestion. Let me know how you are going to build your characters and how you are planning to venture and spend your stamina in the X2 event. And thank you so much once again for watching this video. And I'm going to do some testing after I raise the 2 new characters up. I got Fucho already. The other one I haven't got him. I do have a lot of posts saved up, so yeah, I will 100% be going for them. And to be honest, I just love the design of Fucho, right? She looks absolutely gorgeous, and if I can find her here, I mean, look at this beauty. So yeah, hopefully I get to pull the other guy as well, and I bring some test videos out. But until then, thank you so much, and it's TimaeuSS here, and I'll see you in the next one. And goodbye now.